special thing about them that has the astronomers so excited is that they have something called dispersion measure. It's a swooping of the frequencies of a burst, which would generally be very short and lined up, but in fact the higher frequencies come first and the lower frequencies come later, and by this swooping, this chirping of the frequencies, you can do a calculation of the distance. It's used all the time for pulsars, and when you use that measure for these, you get distances that are billions and billions of light.
You already seem to be denying all those, well, some people might call them fantasists who believe that there could be extraterrestrial life, but one of those was the great British astronomer Patrick Moore. He said, given the millions of galaxies, the millions of stars in every galaxy, he believed that somewhere in the universe there should be extraterrestrial life. We were looking at those maps of where these bursts have come from, but could it possibly be, if it's a pattern, could it be some sort of signal, and is there a computer program that exists that might possibly be able to interpret such a signal?
Since 2007, astronomers have been trying to figure out where some very strange radio waves seemingly are coming from.
4 mystery intergalactic radio signals were detected.
Radio signals, that's what they appear to be, are called fast radio bursts, and it's been suggested that the bursts likely came from a source near the constellation Aquarius, about 5.5 billion light years away.
Astronomers and other scientists are trying to explain a series of mysterious bursts of radio waves which may have been emitted from far outside our galaxy. Telescopes have been detecting these so-called fast radio bursts for the past 14 years, and remarkably, they have a very specific pattern. There's yet no definitive explanation.
These are intergalactic radio bursts, but scientists have no idea where they came from.
Sounds like from what we've been reading about this, 12 ground and space telescopes conducted observations on these other wavelengths that have been found, including infrared, ultraviolet, X-ray, and visible light.
Is this ET, UFO, alien kinds type stuff? Mystery of strange radio bursts are coming from outer space. Now,
They last only milliseconds even.
They emitted as much energy as the sun emits in 300,000 years.
Tell me about the new signal, because you're saying that it occurred in patterns, correct? It's described as being like a radio signal, but
Scientists searching for signs of intelligent extraterrestrial life. They're certainly excited. So what could they be? Professor John Learned is from the physics department at the University of Hawaii. He's been studying the radio bursts.
The special thing about them that has the astronomers so excited is that they have something called dispersion measure. It's a swooping of the frequencies of a burst, which would generally be very short and lined up, but in fact the higher frequencies come first and the lower frequencies come later, and by this swooping, this chirping of the frequencies, you can do a calculation of the distance. It's used all the time for pulsars, and when you use that measure for these, you get distances that are billions and billions of light years away.
Detected these millisecond bursts between February 2011 and January 2012.
The bigger the delay, the further away the source must be. And so what that implied to us was that this source was well beyond the Milky Way galaxy.
that's what it sounds.
And have no idea what caused them.
Incredibly bright, and B, the amount of dispersion, the total delay that we saw from top to bottom was far greater than we were expecting for the pulsars in that area.
Okay, so when you say there was a delay, are these delays that have a constant amount of time between them?
So they have a few ideas. One of the ideas is it's a brand new high-energy astrophysical event, which means, I don't know.
In terms of the wide gamut of things, and certainly there's a wide gamut of all the things that this could include, what could we be seeing through this? Could this possibly be intelligent life sending a signal, or is it more likely to be what?
Bursts, cryptic messages, and mathematical multiples, all coming from a mysterious source in space.
And they are therefore very far, and therefore they would have to be very energetic. And so they're strange creatures. They're not like anything else we've seen. And people would love to know more about them if indeed they are at great distances.
Galactic signals, which is pretty crazy. I mean, that's really a high-powered data collection there.
Hello YouTube, this is Enchanted Life Pat TV, and I'm not sure what's happening tonight, but there's these stories breaking that alien signals are being deceived. All the information's here, and there's a lot more information around the internet. It's absolutely unbelievable, to be honest with you. I've just been watching Enter the Stars through a decode on the dark night, on the Black Knight satellite, the Pepsi advert which just came out, which is in relation to people finding the signal, cracking the signal from the dark night, sending the signal back to it, activating it. The start of the advert says this is real. I've just watched that 10 minutes ago. BP8 Watchers just put a video up about this 2 minutes later. Now, is this the start of the Great Deception with the UFO deception, the alien deception, or is this something else more natural, which is actually taking place? Some of the photographs which we've just seen then were pretty sensational, showing water. Look at this. This is water. This is, I'm not too sure what planet it is, but it's definitely going to be from a planet in space. I don't recognise it being from Earth, even the shape of it. I've never seen that on Earth. Quote me if I'm wrong. There's snowy mountainous peaks on it. That's habitable. The announcement in the monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society of the 5 new signals has left the research community on tenterhooks. The team said the double burst FRB called 121002 had a clear 2-component profile. They say each component is similar to the known population of a single component and are separated by 2.4 milliseconds. They added, many of the proposed models explain that the FRBS use a single high-energy event involving compact objects such as neutron star mergers, and they therefore cannot easily explain a 2-component FRB. This has been Enchanted Life Pat TV. What's this all about? Seriously, thanks for watching.